Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the heartbeat of the NBA, unearthing stories that make this game more than just a sport. It's a saga, a legacy, a roller coaster of human triumph and tragedy. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey through basketball history, peeling back the layers of some of the most gut-punching, soul-stirring, and absolutely legendary tales the hardwood has ever seen. The NBA isn't just about monster dunks, clutch shots, or championship banners. It's about the human stories that ignite the court, break our hearts, and inspire us to chase our dreams against all odds. We all know the Titans, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, who dominated for decades, carving their names into eternity with diamond-encrusted ink. But there's another breed of legend, a rarer kind. Players who streaked across the sky like comets, blazing so bright for just a fleeting moment before fading into the void. That moment, though? It shifted the game's orbit, moved entire cities to tears, and left legacies that burn brighter than ever. Injuries, tragedies, or fate's ruthless hand cut their careers short, but their impact? That's immortal, etched in the souls of fans forever. In this video, we're diving headfirst into the stories of three iconic figures: Derrick Rose, Chicago's heartbeat, a kid from the streets who became a city's messiah; Len Bias, the superstar who could have rivaled MJ but was stolen from us in a heartbeat; and Brandon Roy, Portland's quiet king, whose grace and heart redefined what it means to be a hero. These aren't just basketball stories. They're odysseys of resilience, loss, sacrifice, and the unbreakable spirit of the human soul. We'll weave in fan perspectives, cultural ripples, and the dreams these players sparked. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's take this emotional ride together. But hold up, before we tip off, I've got a challenge for you. Hit the comments and tell me, who's got the most heartbreaking or inspiring short NBA career in your book? Is it D. Rose's relentless grind? Bias's tragic what if? Roy's selfless heart? Or maybe another name's got you in your feelings? Drop it below and we'll chop it up at the end. All right, let's light up the court, turn the volume to 11, and dive into these timeless tales. First up, we've got Derrick Rose, the pride of Chicago, a kid who rose from the toughest streets to become a beacon of hope, a symbol of a city's unyielding spirit. Born in 1988 in Englewood, one of Chicago's roughest neighborhoods, Derrick grew up in a world where survival was a daily grind. Poverty loomed large, crime was a constant shadow, and dreams were fragile. But for Derrick, basketball was everything: a lifeline, a sanctuary, a ticket out. When he picked up that worn-out ball, the chaos faded. The court was his church, his stage. His mom, Brenda, was his rock, telling him, "Derrick, you're destined for greatness. Don't let this world dim your light." His older brothers, Dwayne, Reggie, and Alan, were his first coaches, schooling him on the cracked asphalt courts of Murray Park. They'd hoop until the streetlights came on, dodging trouble and dreaming of something bigger. By high school at Simeon Career Academy, Derrick was a phenomenon. His speed was like lightning, his dunks defied gravity, and his heart was pure fire. He led Simeon to back-to-back Illinois state titles in 2006 and 2007, earning whispers of the next MJ. College came next, and at the University of Memphis in 2007, he took the NCAA by storm. His crossover was filthy, his drives fearless, his leadership undeniable. Fans packed arenas chanting D. Rose as he carved up defenses. The 2008 NBA draft was Chicago's moment of destiny. The Bulls, starving for a savior since Jordan's retirement, won the lottery and picked Derrick first overall. The city exploded. Murals of Rose popped up on Southside walls. Fans flooded the streets. This wasn't just a draft pick, it was a homecoming. When Derrick stepped onto the United Center floor, the air crackled. He was a bolt of electricity, fast, explosive, unstoppable. His rookie year showed promise: 16.8 points, 6.3 assists, and a swagger that screamed, "I'm here." By the 2010 to 2011 season, at just 22 years old, Derrick Rose was the NBA's youngest MVP in history. Let that sink in. 22, carrying a franchise, dropping 25 points and 7.7 assists a game, and leading the Bulls to a 62-win season, the league's best. Announcers lost their minds. Derrick Rose is a one-man highlight reel. This kid's rewriting the game. Fans rocked his #1 jersey. Kids mimicked his crossover in the streets, and Chicago dared to dream of a new dynasty. Teammates like Joakim Noah and Luol Deng fed off his fire. Coach Tom Thibodeau called him a generational talent. But every saga has a shadow, a moment where the world shifts. For Rose, that moment came in the 2012 playoffs, Game 1 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Late in the game, with the Bulls, cruising, Rose attacked the rim like always, full throttle. Then, disaster. He landed awkwardly, clutched his left knee, and crumpled to the floor. The United Center fell silent, 20,000 fans holding their breath. The diagnosis was a dagger, a torn ACL. That sound you heard? That was a city's heart shattering. Doctors warned his career could be over. He may never run like that again. Teammates rallied, fans prayed, but the road ahead was brutal. Surgery, months of rehab, endless pain and doubt. Rose faced it all. The media wrote him off. Haters called him washed. But Derrick Rose wasn't built to fold. In 2013, he fought back, only to suffer a meniscus tear in his right knee. Another surgery, another setback. In 2015, he tried again, pushing through more injuries, more skepticism. Every comeback was a battle, every step a testament to his will. Late-night gym sessions, grueling rehab, moments of despair where he questioned everything, but he never quit. In 2018, with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he dropped a career-high 50 points, tears streaming as the crowd roared. That night, he was more than a player. He was a warrior. Today, in his mid-30s, he's still grinding in the NBA, a role player now, but his spirit? Stronger than ever. In a 2020 interview, he said, "I'm still here, man. My story ain't over." Chicago fans sum it up. D. Rose falls, but his soul never breaks. He's our hero. Derrick Rose's story isn't just hoops. It's about resilience, clawing back from the abyss, proving the world wrong. His highlights, those ankle-breaking crossovers, rim-rattling dunks, that 50-point masterpiece, pull you into Chicago's gritty streets, the United Center's roar, a city's pulse. So, what's your favorite D. Rose moment? That MVP season slam over Goran Dragic? His 50-point comeback? Drop it in the comments. Let's relive it. And here's a real one. If you were D. Rose facing all those injuries, would you keep fighting or walk away? What's your heart saying? Lay it on me. One more. What Rose play would you show a kid to inspire them? Hit me. Let's keep it rolling. Now, let's flip the script and travel back to the 1980s, a golden age of basketball, to meet Len Bias, the ultimate what-if in NBA history. Born in 1963 in Landover, Maryland, Bias grew up with a fire in his belly and a gift in his hands. His parents, James and Lonise, pushed him to dream big. By high school, he was a local star, but at the University of Maryland, he became a national icon. At 6 feet 8 inches, with a wingspan like a condor and athleticism that defied physics, Bias was a nightmare for opponents. His dunks were thunderclaps, his drives pure artistry, his presence magnetic. The 1980s NBA was a battleground. Magic Johnson's Showtime Lakers, Larry Bird's gritty Celtics, a young Michael Jordan ready to take over. But Bias, he was the guy who could have stolen the crown. His coach, Lefty Driesel, said, "Len Bias is a game changer. He's got MJ's fire and more." At Maryland, Bias was a rock star. The Xfinity Center shook with every dunk, fans chanting "Bias, Bias" as he torched defenses. His senior year, 1985 to 1986, was a masterpiece. 23 points a game, All-American honors, and a swagger that said, "I'm next." Teammates like Keith Gatlin leaned on his energy. Opponents dreaded him. The 1986 NBA draft was his moment to shine. On June 17th, the Boston Celtics, already a dynasty with Bird, McHale, and Parrish, picked Bias second overall. Boston fans went wild, storming streets, dreaming of a new golden era. This wasn't just a draft pick, it was a coronation. That night, Bias stood tall on the draft stage, his smile lighting up the room, his parents glowing with pride. His mom, Lonice, hugged him, whispering, "You're gonna change the world, son." Fans chanted, "Bias'll bury Jordan," as bars toasted to rings. Analysts called him the perfect blend of power and finesse, a future Hall of Famer. But then, in a heartbeat, it all vanished. That same night, Len Bias tragically passed away. The details are hazy, the pain still raw. News anchors broke the story with trembling voices. A tragedy has devastated the basketball world. Boston's joy turned to ashes. Flags flew at half-mast. Fans gathered outside the Boston Garden, tears streaming. Bias never wore that green jersey, never stepped onto an NBA court, never challenged MJ. What remained was a void, a question that haunts fans. What if? What if Bias had played? Would he have dethroned Jordan? Would the Celtics have ruled the 90s? Could he have changed the game? His story is a brutal reminder of life's fragility, how one moment can rewrite everything. Len Bias wasn't just a player. He was a dream, a promise, a symbol of potential snuffed out too soon. His college highlights, those earth-shaking dunks, that effortless swagger, pull you into the 1980s with neon lights, pounding synth beats, and crowds losing their minds. His teammates still talk about him. Gatlin said, "Len made us believe." Last but not least, let's head to the Pacific Northwest for Brandon Roy, Portland's quiet king, a player who made basketball look like poetry. Born in 1904 in Seattle, Roy grew up in a city that breathed hoops. The streets were tough, but the court was his haven. Basketball was his way to rise above, to find peace, to dream. His mom, Gina, told him, "Brandon, your heart is your strength." At Garfield High, he was a star, but his humility stood out. He was about the game, not the spotlight. At the University of Washington, he became a legend, with silky jumpers, pinpoint passes, and clutch moments. In 2006, the Portland Trail Blazers drafted him 6th overall, and for a city desperate for hope, Roy was a gift. Portland was in a rough spot, losing seasons, off-court drama, and a fan base starving for belief. The Jail Blazers era had left scars, but Roy changed everything. From his first tip-off, he was special. His mid-range game was butter, his game winners ice cold, his leadership unshakable. Portland fans crowned him the king, not because he demanded it, but because he earned it with every clutch shot, every selfless play. His rookie year brought 16.8 points and 4 assists, showing maturity beyond his 22 years. By 2008-2009, Roy was an all-star, averaging 22.6 points and leading the Blazers to a 54-win season in playoffs. The Rose Garden was a fortress, fans roaring, waving Roy MVP signs. Announcers raved, "Brandon Roy's a silent assassin, ice in his veins." Teammates like LaMarcus Aldridge and Greg Oden leaned on his poise. Coach Nate McMillan called him our soul. But trouble brewed. Roy's knees were failing, cartilage damage, bone issues. Every game was a war against his body. Doctors warned, "Brandon, you're risking your future. You might not walk right." But Roy played for Portland, for the fans who believed in him, for a city that called him their own. In 2010, during a playoff series against Dallas, Roy delivered a moment etched in Blazers lore. Banged up, barely able to run, He checked into Game 4 and dropped 24 points, including a game-tying 4-point play, sparking a comeback for the ages. The crowd was in tears, chanting "Roy, Roy" as he carried them to victory. It was a love letter to Portland. Fans tweeted, "Roy's our heart. I cried tonight." But the injuries were merciless. By 2011, at just 27, Roy had to retire. His press conference broke hearts. "Basketball was my life, my love. But I gotta choose a new path." Pain in his eyes, but also strength. Peace from giving his all. Portland never let him go. Fans still wear his number 7 jersey, tell stories of the king. A 2022 X post said, "Roy gave us hope when we had none. Forever a Blazer." Roy's story is sacrifice, loving a city so much you'd risk it all. His highlights, silky fadeaways, clutch daggers, that playoff miracle, pull you into Portland's rainy streets. The Rose Garden's buzz, a fan base's heartbeat. Favorite Roy moment? That 2010 playoff game? His farewell? Drop it in the comments. If injuries hadn't hit, where would Roy rank? Kobe's level? Higher? What would you tell Roy as a fan? Let's get emotional. Let's weave these stories together. Derrick Rose? Len Bias? Brandon Roy? Different eras, same truth. Short careers, endless legacies. Rose was Chicago's warrior, rising from shadows to show grit. Fight on, no matter the odds. Bias was the 80s golden promise, a dream lost, teaching us to seize every moment. Roy was Portland's heart, sacrificing all, proving greatness is about what you give. The NBA isn't stats, it's moments, stories, inspiration. Rose says keep going. Bias says live now. Roy says give your heart. Their impact shapes today's game. A kid's watching, lacing up sneakers, inspired by Rose's hustle, Bias's potential, Roy's love. Maybe a Chicago Hooper's grinding, saying, "I'm like D. Rose." Maybe a Boston teen dreams big, thinking, "I won't waste my shot like Bias." Maybe a Portland fan works harder, fueled by Roy, saying, "He gave everything, so can I." These stories are about life, pushing through pain, chasing dreams, leaving a mark. On X, fans debate, Rose was a top 5 PG. Bias would have topped MJ. Roy was Kobe with heart. Who else belongs? Tracy McGrady, derailed by injuries? Penny Hardaway, cut down with Shaq? Grant Hill, the next MJ until ankles failed? Bill Walton, an MVP betrayed by feet? Drop your picks in the comments, let's build the next video. Which story hit deepest? Rose's grind? Bias's tragedy? Roy's heart? If you could save one career, Rose's knees, Bias's life, Roy's body, who and why? What would their legacy be? If you could sit down with one, who'd you pick, and what would you ask? Pour your heart out, let's connect. The NBA's a feeling, a passion, binding us across cities, generations, dreams. If you're vibing with these tales, smash subscribe, ring the bell. What's next? 90s stars, new gen ballers, draft busts, drop ideas. Like and share, spread the love. Basketball unites us, on the court, in the scene. The NBA's a feeling, a passion, binding us across cities, generations, dreams. If you're vibing with these tales, smash subscribe, ring the bell. What's next? 90s stars, new gen ballers, draft busts, drop ideas. Like and share, spread the love. Basketball unites us, on the court, in the stands, here on YouTube. Chase your dreams. One moment can change it all. Catch you next time.